Chapter 11. The Light Between Shadows and the Unwritten Page.
Shadows and light warred around Pip as cracks widened in the vault. Drawing a shaky breath, Pip clutched his satchel and imagined his friends' voices, weaving a makeshift spell of connection.
If you can hear me, Merry, Bristlequill, Tilda, don't let go. Remember your best day, your brightest hope.
Well done, little Warlock. The true spell is cast from the heart, not the tongue.
Faint golden threads glimmered through the chaos, linking Pip to his scattered companions. For a moment, the shadows recoiled. In the archive, Madame Bristlequill and Mary watched as the archivist Shade traced the prophecy's final lines with a spectral finger.
When Shadow seeks to claim the page, Hope's quill must write anew. The unwritten binds what memory cannot.
An unwritten page. It's not what we've lost, but what we can still create. Pip's magic is always a bit unpredictable. Maybe that's exactly what we need.
The prophecy glowed faintly, as if encouraging the party onward. Tilda and Eldroth hurried across the glowing bridge, shadows swirling below. The archway behind them cracked as the Vizier's magic surged.
Faster, Eldroth! The bridge is fading. Can you hold it steady?
Only if hope outweighs fear. Step with faith, Tilda.
With a leap of trust, the two reached the far side just as the bridge flickered out, leaving them at the threshold of Pip's chamber. In the heart of chaos, Pip's golden threads wove themselves into a blank, radiant page floating between him and the Shadow Vizier. Light spilled from its surface, pressing back the gloom.
Oh, you cannot bind me with nothingness.
It's not nothing. It's possibility. It's every story we've yet to tell.
The unwritten page, the truest binding. The shadow cannot erase what has not yet been written.
The Vizier staggered, shadows unraveling, but with a scream, the entity hurled a final surge of erasing darkness at Pip and the others, threatening to wipe out hope itself.
Chapter 12. Erasure and Ink. The Battle for the Blank Page.
The Vizier's wave of erasing shadow swept toward Pip and the glowing page, devouring color and sound as it came.
I don't suppose anyone has a counterspell for utter obliteration?
The page is possibility itself. Write your hope, Pip. That is the only shield.
Shadows battered at Pip's magical barrier, tendrils clawing for the blank page. Madame Bristlequill and Mary burst into the chamber, parchment and prophecy in hand. Golden threads from Pip's spell wrapped around them, linking their magic.
Pip, the prophecy. Anchor the page with memory and hope. We'll hold the shadows. Quick, think of something wonderful, like scones or, ooh, the first library card I ever got.
As the companions focused, the page pulsed with new light, its edges solidifying against the tide of erasure. At the edge of the chamber, Tilda and Eldroth fought back a wave of shadow minions, Eldroth's runes flaring as Tilda's charms scattered bursts of light.
There's no end to them. Eldroth, any bright ideas?
Light is born of unity. Channel their hope to me.
As their magic joined the others, the minions shrieked and faltered, some dissolving into harmless mist. Pip, heart pounding, pressed his quill to the page. The Vizier's darkness crashed down, but the page absorbed the blow.
If stories can save us, then let's begin a new one.
Right, Pip. Make it count.
Pip wrote the word, together. Light blossomed from the page, flinging the Vizier's form backward, shadows splintering.
No! Unity cannot bind me forever. I will return.
As the light faded, the Vizier's form dissolved into wisps, but dark ink seeped along the cracks of the vault, pooling ominously.
Is it supposed to do that? Because that looks like the start of a sequel, not an ending.
Shadows never vanish, they change shape. Be wary, for the ink of old stories writes new dangers.
I think we've won, for now. But this page is far from full.
Deep below, the ink swirled into strange runes, a new presence stirring in the vault's depths as the companions caught their breath.
Chapter 13. Ink and Echoes, the Vault's New Riddle.
The vault's silence was broken only by the drip and ripple of black ink, which pulsed with faint arcane energy as it pooled in the cracks.
It's moving. Should ink be moving?
Only if it's trying to write something, which I sincerely hope it isn't.
Beware. Some stories refuse to end. They seek new authors.
Strange runes began to appear along the walls, glowing with the same energy as the ink, their meaning shifting and elusive. The archivist shade drifted closer, tome in hand, its hollow eyes fixed on the spreading ink.
The vault's stories are restless. If the puzzle is not solved, the ink will rewrite all within.
Then we must decipher these runes before the vault becomes nothing but a blot on the map. Some of these symbols look familiar. They're shifting between languages, Elvish, Dwarven, even Gnomish shorthand. I'll start transcribing. Maybe if we read the right word, the ink will settle down.
The group huddled together, comparing notes as the runes flickered between forms. Every attempt to read them aloud caused the ink to pulse or withdraw.
Speak the truth unwritten, reveal the tale unspun. That's what it almost says, but then it changes.
It's a logic puzzle. The answer must be something that's both written and unwritten. Pip, maybe your unique magic is what the runes want. Try not to overthink it.
The vault listens for intent as much as words. Speak from the heart, Pip.
The ink at the center of the chamber bubbled violently, then surged upward, coalescing into a towering figure with a glass inkwell for a heart and arms of quill-like appendages.
Who dares disturb the unfinished story? Solve the riddle or be rewritten. I was hoping for a friendly bookmark, not a giant ink monster.
It's made of actual words. Look, the script keeps changing. Some of it's upside down.
The golem's script-covered arms swept wide, blocking all exits, as the companions braced for the vault's newest challenge.
Chapter 14. Quills and Quandaries, the Golem's Riddle.
The inkwell golem towered above the companions, its quill arms shifting as runes spun across its chest. The air shimmered with ink-scented magic.
Answer or be rewritten. What is both the end and the beginning, is blank yet full, and binds all stories in unity. Does it want a poem or a philosophical treatise?
The answer is the end.
The golem's script flashed red, and a sudden gust of wind scattered pages around the room.
Incorrect. The unwritten is not the ended. Try again.
Tilda attempted imagination, and Eldroth whispered, memory. Each guest sent inky tendrils swirling around their feet, momentarily distorting their voices and faces.
I sound like I'm underwater. This is highly unprofitable.
The riddle is deeper. Look at the script. It shifts with every answer.
Wait, the script is forming a pattern. See? It's a circle, not a line. Maybe the answer isn't a word, but an idea.
Pip, recalling the unwritten page and the power of unity, stepped forward and faced the golem's blank mask.
Is the answer the page? It's blank, but it holds every story. It's the beginning, and the end, together.
The golem's runes glowed gold, the ink swirling harmlessly away as its quill arms folded in approval.
The page unites all. You may pass, but beware, the ink runs deeper than you know.
As the golem stepped aside, the vault transformed. Corridors stretched into endless bookshelves, passages winding and shifting. The group found themselves in a maze of enchanted tomes and whispered secrets.
A labyrinthine library. I knew this day would come. Quick, everyone grab a book. Maybe one has a map. I don't like the look of those shadows between the shelves.
High above, a slender shadow with a pale mask watched the party's progress, its gaze cold and calculating. As the party pressed deeper into the maze, the masked shadow watcher drifted silently after them, its form flickering in the lantern light.
We are not alone. Something old and clever marks our steps.
I'd like to file a complaint with the library staff.
The shelves shifted, closing off escape routes as the shadow watcher's mask appeared at the end of the aisle, silent and unmoving.
Chapter 15. Shelves of Shadows and the Whispering Mask.
The companions pressed forward, the library shelves sliding and twisting behind them, sealing off old paths and revealing new ones.
Keep close, everyone. This place likes to play tricks on the mind.
The maze is sentient. It responds to fear, curiosity, and unfinished tales.
I'd settle for a nice, straightforward index right about now.
Far behind, the pale mask of the shadow watcher glided silently between the stacks, always just out of reach. Madame Bristlequill brushed her fingers across a shelf of ancient, locked tomes. One snapped open, glowing runes spilling into the air.
These are forbidden works, sealed with puzzles, not locks. They want to be solved. There's a pattern to the spine titles. Begin, turn, return, learn. I think they're directions.
The library rewards cleverness. Follow Mary's pattern, but be wary. Some books bite back.
Mary darted from shelf to shelf, tracing the path of clues while dodging a book that tried to snap shut on her fingers. Tilda and Pip pressed on, but the shelves suddenly rearranged, splitting the group and dropping Tilda and Pip into a narrow corridor lined with trap-laden encyclopedias.
Duck, Pip. That one's labeled Comprehensive History of Falling Objects.
I'd rather not be a footnote in that volume.
Pip dodged a tumbling atlas, while Tilda snatched him out of the way of a flying thesaurus. They landed beside a spiral staircase leading deeper into the stacks. As the group regrouped at the staircase's base, the Shadow Watcher appeared, its mask inches from the nearest lantern's glow. Its voice, more felt than heard, curled through the shelves.
Speak the word that opens every door, binds every tale, and ends every night. Fail and wander lost in shadow.
Is it please, or maybe the end again? It must be something universal, something all stories share.
The shelves closed in, shadows thickening, as the riddle's power threatened to trap them forever. As panic rose, Pip blurted out, "Once!" The word echoed through the maze, shaking the shelves and sending a ripple of golden light through the shadows.
So the story begins. The power of beginnings. You have chosen well, Pip.
The library trembled, shelves spinning and rearranging as a hidden passage opened beneath the party's feet, dropping them into darkness.
Chapter 16. The Scriptorium Below and the Silver Quill.
The companions tumbled through swirling darkness, landing in a chamber filled with the scratching of countless quills and the rustle of parchment.
Ow! I landed on something squishy. Please tell me it's just old paper. A scriptorium! These manuscripts haven't seen daylight in centuries.
Animated quills zipped overhead, spectral scribes hunched over endless scrolls, and magical lanterns floated in the dust-laden air. Tilda's eyes caught a pedestal at the room's center, upon which rested a gleaming silver quill, its feather shimmering with runes.
That's not just any quill. Look at the runes. It's practically humming with magic.
Tools of creation and erasure are often one and the same. Use it with care.
Is it safe to touch? My luck with magical artifacts is variable.
Tilda gently lifted the quill. The air shimmered, and a faint silver line traced itself from the pedestal to a hidden door in the wall. The spectral scribes continued their work, endlessly copying and editing the same passage. Their eyes glowed brighter as Pip approached, drawn by the Warlock's magic.
Write, rewrite, erase, restore. The story never ends.
They're trapped in a loop, caught by an unfinished tale. We must help them break free. What if they want us to finish the story for them?
Beware. The ink that binds can also consume.
Following the silver line, Mary traced her fingers along the wall, revealing a hidden door etched with cryptic symbols and a partially erased inscription.
There's something written here. Only the true author may pass, pen in hand and story in heart. That must mean the quill is the key. Pip, are you ready to write us through? 2.
I'll try, but I hope it's not a trick ending.
As Pip stepped forward, the spectral scribes turned in unison, their eyes fixed on him, and the walls began to close in with a grinding rumble.
Chapter 17. Lines Unwritten and the Living Story.
With the walls grinding closer, Pip gripped the silver quill, heart pounding. He scrawled a hasty sentence onto the air. The companions found a way forward, guided by hope and wit.
Please work, please work, please work.
You're doing splendidly, Pip. Keep the sentences short and clear.
The words glowed, stretching into a shimmering doorway. The spectral scribes, freed from their loop, bowed and faded into gentle wisps. The party stepped into a vast chamber where the air was thick with drifting letters, half-formed sentences, and the scent of old parchment.
I've never seen so many half-written stories in one place. It's like a writer's attic exploded. Do you hear that? It's like voices arguing over how a story should end.
Glowing words swirled around them, sometimes shaping into images or vanishing mid-thought. In the center, something large shifted, a form coalescing from the script itself. From the heart of the chamber, the living story emerged, a shifting figure of words and sentences, face and limbs flickering with every thought.
I am the tale unwritten, the ending unknown. Shape me, or be lost in the tide of ink. Shape me.
A sentient narrative. This place is a crossroads of all possible endings.
It wants us to finish its story. But what if we choose wrong?
The chamber trembled, ink swirling around their feet, as the living story's body became more fragmented, sentences unraveling. The living story stretched out a hand of words, offering Pip the unfinished sentence. And so, with courage and
snacks? No, wait, that's not right.
Maybe it wants something true, not just clever. Try what's in your heart, Pip. That's never failed us yet.
Pip's hand shook as he hovered the quill over the glowing script, the ink tide rising higher, the living story's form threatening to dissolve entirely.
Chapter 18. And so, with courage and cake.
As the ink threatened to swallow their boots, Pip's voice rang out, silver quill poised. And so, with courage and cake, The friends faced what came next together.
If you can't be brave on an empty stomach, you're doomed.
That's the best ending I've ever heard.
The chamber burst into color, words spinning into banners, ink receding as a long table groaned under a feast of magical cakes and pastries. The living story, now whole, bowed and faded, leaving laughter behind. As laughter faded, a tall, masked figure in embroidered robes appeared at the head of the table, golden staff in hand.
Every story must end, but how it ends is yours to choose. Welcome to my banquet, honored guests.
Thank you, but we've learned to be careful with magical banquets.
Are we guests, or are we being tested?
The keeper's silver mask never changed, but their eyes glinted with secret amusement as the feast shimmered and shifted shape. The companions found that each dish on the table was labeled with a riddle or a clue. Some cakes changed flavors when questioned, others vanished if doubted.
Eat what is sweet, but not too soon. Drink what is wise, or face your doom. This is a test of patience and discernment. If you eat the curiosity crumpet before the answer eclair, it turns into a frog.
How do you eat a paradox tart?
Carefully, and with extra napkins.
As they solved each puzzle, the feast rearranged, the room growing brighter with each correct answer. When the last puzzle was solved, the keeper rose and gestured to a door outlined in golden script.
Behind this door lies the cost of every ending. Choose wisely, for some stories are written in sacrifice.
Every tale demands a price. Let us meet it together.
I hope the price isn't my library card. I just renewed it.
The golden door swung open, revealing a swirling darkness beyond, as the keeper's mask glimmered with cryptic promise.
Chapter 19. The Price of Passage and the Forgotten Fable.
The companions stepped into swirling mist, the golden scripted door vanishing behind them. Memories, half-remembered and strange, drifted past, their voices echoing in the haze.
Is it just me, or does this place feel like the inside of a dream you can't quite remember? I keep seeing old teachers waving overdue notices at me. Stay focused. These are only fragments. Don't let them pull you in.
The mists thickened, each companion finding themselves alone, surrounded by visions from their own pasts. Pip stared at a reflection, a version of himself in a crisp librarian's coat, holding a thick contract. The other Pip's eyes sparkled with quiet confidence. What if you'd signed the right form, Pip? What if you'd chosen certainty over chaos?
But then I'd never have met my friends, or learned what I'm capable of.
Will you trade adventure for comfort? Or write your own ending? Pip reached out and the reflection vanished, the mists parting as he stepped forward with new resolve. Each companion faced illusions. Tilda's lost bargains, Mary's unfinished inventions, Bristlequill's unread books. Eldroth drifted between them, its many eyes glowing, weaving a memory of unity.
You are not alone. The story is shared. Find each other, and the way will open. Peter Bent.
I won't trade the present for regret. Come on, everyone. Let's regroup. I'll invent something new, right now. No book unread, no friend forgotten. Forward.
The illusions faded as the companions reached for each other, the mists clearing to reveal an ancient book on a pedestal, bound in spectral chains. Before the pedestal stood a gaunt, translucent librarian, chains coiled around spectral wrists. Its eyes peered over thick spectacles, voice echoing with ancient authority.
This is the Forgotten Fable. To read it is to pay its price. Only those willing to lose a piece of themselves may turn its page.
What kind of price? Memory? Name? Or something worse?
If it means saving the story, I'll do what I must.
The spectral librarian gestured, the chains rattling as the book glowed with hidden runes. Pip's hand hovered over the chained book. The companion stood beside him, the mist swirling, spectral chains rattling with anticipation.
Choose, or the story ends here. Whatever you lose, we will help you remember.
Then let's find out what's on the next page, together.
As Pip touched the book, the runes flared and the mists howled, the next chapter waiting to be written.
Chapter 20. The price paid and the memory unwritten.
As Pip's hand touched the chained book, the runes blazed and spectral chains snapped tight around his wrist. A pulse of magic swept through the chamber.
The price is set, a memory most dear, unwritten from your mind.
If it saves the story, I'll pay it.
Pip, are you sure?
The book's pages burst open, swirling the companions into a vortex of color and thought. The party tumbled into a strange landscape stitched together from fragments of Pip's memories, childhood laughter, lost libraries, and a door he could not recall.
We're inside the story. Inside Pip's story. Pip, what do you see? What's missing?
I can't remember the taste of my favourite cake or the face of my first friend. There's a hole in my heart.
The landscape shifted, scenes flickering and breaking apart, as the companions realized they needed to mend the story together. Each companion offered a piece of themselves. Mary's laughter, Tilda's courage, Bristlequill's wisdom, and Eldroth's ancient song. The fractured scenes began to mend.
Stories live in those who share them. Let us write your memory anew.
Pip, hold on to us. We'll help you remember, even if you can't recall everything.
Thank you. All of you.
The blank door filled with color, laughter echoing, and Pip's memory, changed but whole, returned. The book's spectral chains shattered, revealing a hidden map inked in starlight on the final page. The companions gathered around, hope shining in their eyes.
Look, it points to the next vault. There's a path we never saw before. We did it, Pip. We're still together.
I may have lost something, but I gained a lot more.
The spectral librarian faded, leaving only a faint whisper and a lingering shadow as the companions prepared to move on. As the party turned to leave, Pip glanced back. The shadow of the spectral librarian lingered, its eyes following them, and the book's pages fluttered in a wind no one felt.
I have a feeling we haven't paid the last of the price.
Some debts are not paid in memory, but in destiny.
Whatever's waiting, we'll face it together.
As the companions stepped into the light of the new path, the shadow stretched after them, and the book's title faded from Pip's mind.